We've reached halftime here in Game 2. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
Let's get right into the action here. The Raptors are in a tight battle after 2 quarters. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. These are the guys getting buckets for the Toronto Raptors. These are the guys getting buckets for the Brooklyn Nets.
Game track. Bench points. Game track. Bench points.
The coaches are getting the kind of bench production that can make for some interesting rotations. Keep an eye on the substitution patterns in the second half.
Player of the half.
I like this choice because he really put on a show in the opening half. There's a reason he's a fan favorite.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Raptors have the lead, but not by much. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. Have a look at the leading scores for the Toronto Raptors. And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
To Gasol. And stuffs it home.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Russell with it up top. The deficit is 6. To Hollis Jefferson. Slam dunk for Hollis Jefferson. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Not done. And a putback slam.
There you go, big fella.
Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for 2.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here, because that was not an easy look.
Brooklyn with the basketball. Takes stock of the floor. Took it down the lane, but it's no good.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
To Gasol, down low, stuffs it down with authority.
This is where I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Russell. Knocked loose. Raptors come away with it. To Leonard. Fires the 3. No good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Russell. Toronto has the basketball. Nothing going here on that drive. And a bad pass as it's taken away by the Nets. To Hollis Jefferson. Second effort. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Here comes the screen. To Gasol. Tough make through traffic.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in a zone by himself.
Russell into the front court. Now down 6. Here comes the screen. To Hollis Jefferson. Shot from the lane won't go. Toronto with the basketball. Got it.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Russell with it up top. His club staring up at an 8-point deficit. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
To Gasol.
He throws it down.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
To Hollis Jefferson. And look out.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. The pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
To Dinwiddie. To Allen Crabbe. From long range. Tough shot. No good for Allen Crabbe.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Fires the three. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
He's most definitely got the hot hand behind the three-point arc. Anytime your first-round pick is shooting like this, your GMs and owners just sit back and smile.
Marc Gasol able to recover with the block. That's his third block this evening. It's the Raptors with the basketball.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Off the assist.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
To Allen Crabbe. Beyond the arc for three. Buries the wide open three. That's too easy.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose the dagger with the three.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul.
And I love when people are saying, well, he's not an exciting player. I don't need him to be exciting. I need him to be fundamentally sound.
To Dinwiddie. And finishes strong.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. The pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Leonard.
We know what's coming. Go get him.
To Davis. Serge Ibaka. Tips it. Fourth this contest.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Nets have it. To Russell. Not giving up on that play. The result, a tie-up. After the tie-up, they'll throw it up and see who gets the possession. Has a look. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
And count the basket inside.
Oh man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
To Hollis Jefferson. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
To Ibaka. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
So much about passing is about the pace of the pass. Sometimes you need to dart the pass through the gap. Other times you need to have a feathery touch where you can loft the ball up for your player to dunk the ball. That pace is everything in this game.
Here comes the screen. To Dinwiddie. Down to 5 on the 24. Trying to cash in. Deep two there, won't go.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
Rondae Hollis-Jefferson sends it away.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
To Russell. Lets it fly from long range. Can't connect. To Ibaka. He gets it.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Ball's controlled by the Raptors. To Danny Green. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Russell to Dinwiddie. Ed Davis to Dinwiddie. The Nets now with 4 to shoot. Shot clock violation. Lowry.
Hey, watch this screen left.
Going to launch beyond the arc. And he...